It can be done really quickly. You know, you can also pull up a PDF of just the music stuff. Like I have for beginners, a game, it's to be, and there's a bunch of notes on it, and they have to, as quickly as possible, circle the B's. So the kind of the order of learning things, there's line and staff notes, right? Can they identify what is a line note and what is a staff note? And then can they identify that middle one, that B? Finding that's right in the middle, and then the ABC, learning that it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, okay, I talked too much. Go ahead, Carolyn.
How long do you recommend a duration for a private lesson for a young beginner, saying 6 to 10 years old?
I do between a half hour and 45 minutes whenever we do a group class. In person, we do an hour, but that's with a lot of different activities. We're just jam-packed full of activities. But the private lesson, if they have an hour group lesson, but this isn't online, but if they're online, and that's all it is, so it's either a half hour or 45 minutes. I had one student with ADHD, and he does 3 15-minute lessons. I don't recommend it. It's exhausting. Somebody else is sharing. Okay, so Sharon, you are sharing your screen. So there we go.
Okay, my next question for you. How do you keep kids from, if you're not teaching tonguing yet, how do you keep them from breathing in between each note?
So at first, they are going to be tending to breathe between each note, but like 3 weeks later, they're going to be tonguing. And then if you're teaching them like the rice thing and you're going, okay, but we have certain pieces where it's so we do slur tonguing. So at first you are going to be breathing after each note, and then we teach slur tonguing.
Okay, I hope that answered the question. That helped, Amy. That was from Amy Zubek. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have more questions about that, Amy, just write more into the chat. The website Music Play Along is loaded great of songs. There was great recommendation from Bonnie about Music Play Along.
And all our accompaniment tracks are on YouTube. And everybody knows how to slow them down. You just go to the little settings toolbar and then you right click on it and you can slow them down. I also have a little YouTube on my channel that shows you how to slow them down.
Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. So Julie asked about note shapes. Are you talking about share screening? How to get the note shapes on share screening, Julie?
So when you go to annotate, you have the option of lines or circles. It might be different on iPads, but whenever you hit the little pencil there, you can choose what is going to be. So if it's a circle, then it's a note, or if it's an open circle. You are welcome.
The accompanying tracks are how do they get the accompaniment tracks that you were showing today?
They're all on YouTube for free now.
Beautiful. Okay, who have I missed?
They're also, like if you have Spotify or anything like that, you can just, even Amazon, if somebody was doing Spotify or iHeartRadio, you can just say, play Blocki Flute Book 2, whatever, and it should come up. But you can't change how fast or slow it is, like YouTube.
Melinda, you asked about, you have a 8th grade beginning boy. Should he rent or purchase a flute? I'm happy to discuss that with you. I'm happy to discuss it, not in this forum, but we sell flutes and we have great beginner flutes, and so we'll go over all of that with you. So I recommend buying versus renting if he's going to stick with it for more than 6 months, because then the rental programs usually are not in the benefit of the parent. It's usually not the best solutions. But again, we'll talk about that off the subject. Okay, who have I not answered? Can you re-pop a question up if you have any other questions? Oh, somebody asked about the teacher book.
Yes.
Your teacher book, kind of how to incorporate the teacher book.
So there's a teacher book for book 1 and book 2, and we don't have the Flute Zoo one done. Book 1, the teacher's manual, is going to be a lot like the Flute Zoo. The Flute Zoo is book 1 divided into 4 different books with extra pieces so that it's broken down even more. So that after 32 pages, they feel like, wow, I've really accomplished something, and there's a certificate that they can hang up. The teacher's manuals are essential, even if you've taught for 40 years. They're really important, because then you know when to introduce the notes, when to introduce the 5-note patterns. So they really are essential. If you're teaching them without it, I mean, you could use it, but it's just not the same. The teacher's manual I think you'll benefit a lot, even if you're very seasoned. Even if you're a fabulous teacher and have fabulous students, I think you'll still benefit.
Sorry, I muted myself so I didn't interrupt you. Okay, so people are still trying to find where the whiteboard is on Zoom.
So when you hit share, and right now, unfortunately, I have, so everybody can share. So if you all share right now, but if you hit the green share button, and the top of that on the left-hand side should be the whiteboard, and you can click on that and then hit share at the bottom. So everybody's going to be sharing their screen. Good job, Sue. Because I have right now the option that people can share. Good job. So we're seeing Sue's screen right now. Yeah, so if you select the straight for the annotate, you can select the straight line, and that will you can make the stuff really easily that way. So, okay.
While people are playing with that, can you talk about how to develop better breath support?
Oh my goodness.
In 2 minutes or less.
In 2 minutes. The Numa Pro is really important for that. Singing and playing on the Numa Pro will certainly do that. Of course, attend how come so everybody's wanting to do the so try so I shouldn't have had this on. So having the kids see this is really important. We use balloons. The younger the child, I think the less words you should use. So I just tell them that we're going to have a pretend hole here, and we're going to go fill up our balloon from here. The breath builder is super, super easy, or you can have those little lips. Do you know those party lips that you can get at the dollar store? The kids will naturally be breathing down below on that instead of raising their shoulders. I really emphasize a yawn breath and Darth Vader. So I have a big picture of Darth Vader, and and when they take a breath, they want to breathe like. it's just try breathing like Darth Vader, and you'll probably have a fantastic breath. But I usually spend a whole hour on breathing.
Okay, am I unmuted? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Youngsters having trouble controlling their lips, it takes me a long time for them to soften the bottom lip and pout. Any tips?
So I would say definitely use a mirror, and maybe pushing down extra, and exercise using their tongue to push their lip down. Yeah, a mirror is really important.
And I think one of my last ones is when you are teaching the do, are you using do or to? Are you using the French style?
So I use them interchangeably. Do 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 do, and I love Paul Edmund Davies of where you're changing it all the time. So we just start with do 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 do, and if it's not clean, we go to do 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 do. So I think do 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 is faster, and I also, as I get more advanced, we go T for the high notes and toe for the low notes. Toe 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 T. So if whenever they start tonguing, the air rises and they're not getting the low notes anymore, then I would change it to toe 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 toe. So I think I'd be listening and observing what they're doing. Good question.
My last question coming in is, with the flute tutor, when you actually put it on their flute, somebody asked if it scratches the flute. No, it does not scratch the flute. It's got this really incredible padding, rubber padding on the inside, so it won't scratch the flute. How do you know how to get it on their flute, and how do you recommend marking the flute so it gets put on correctly every time?
So I put a piece of tape. That's a really good question. So you're going to have to put a piece of tape on the flute and mark it, and then pick one of the guides. There's guides on there. Tell them which guide. You might want to just pick the first one, and then so I have that. I put it loose. Get them lined up how I want them to. You also need to mark the flute. So a piece of tape here and a piece of tape here. So the head joint needs to be lined up the same every time, and then the flute tutor needs to be lined up with that. So once you get it, and then it's loose, and you put it down. So and then they have to learn to change air direction without rolling in and rolling out. It's like so the beginners, it's fine. There's no problem. They just learn to do it right. But the kids who've been playing poorly for many years, they get frustrated with it. But it will, if they endure, it will make all the difference in their flute playing, and it can rescue people that are always hopeless that they're not going to be able to, do well on flute.
Okay. Any last questions? Straw helps control the bottom air. People are talking amongst themselves in the chat, which is awesome.
Yes, yes.
Trying to keep up if they're asking questions directly. Breathing toy. There is that little breathing toy that we have. Carolyn, could you share your YouTube link when it's available? Yes, I will share the YouTube link when it's available. And there is a little breathing toy that's a little basket with a ball. We call it the magic pipe. The magic pipe on our website. Kathy actually introduced this to us a few years ago at TMEA. It's great for breath control, where they have to try to blow the ball and it balances in the little hoop. So
you have that. Wow, I'm so excited because I don't have that now anymore. And I find that cutting it just a little bit to make it down, but talk about...
oh, look, there's one. Somebody's holding one up. Sue has it in her video right there. Awesome job, Sue. Man, she came totally prepared.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really great toy slash tool for them.
Oh, and that one too. See that one, you know what, you need to keep that because they don't make those anymore. And the ones I've tried to get were terrible. Don't buy the little pipes from what are the Oriental Trade. They're terrible. They get like a little puff and they're all over the place. They don't work. So you need the ones with resistance.
What is that called? The little ball, magic pipe.
Yes.
The link is in the chat. Coming in the chat. What is it called?
Again, irresistibly fun.
What about playing in, I'm going, that means in tune? In tune, when they can't hear it, if they're in tune or not.
So they can, that's all training. They'll learn. You need to have them learn to hear the beats and them slowing down. Singing and playing is really, really important. And then the planning to play in tune, when they can hear those difference tones and how one of the exercises in that book, it's in contrary motion, the difference tones from what the top part is. So it's really obvious to hear them. So that one is more just to learn to hear the difference tones, and then there's more on how to actually change, how to actually tune with those. The first exercise is just a note bending exercise where they make the, really sharp and really flat. So just a really extreme flexibility exercise so they can hear it going high and low. And if they can't hear it, then let them see it also.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Again, I'm referring to the singing with the Numero Pro. Even you just have them just sing the basic pitches in unison when they're blowing on the Numero Pro, since there's no sound, and blow at the same time. And you mentioned that a while ago. I was really fascinated the fact that you said you had an advanced student in that competition put the Numero Pro on the flute and just blow the air like in the embouchure like she's going to do in the piece, right?
Yes, but actually sing and play at the same time. So
sing her part.
Yeah, sing it all.
Yeah. Sing and blow at the same time like we normally. So normal embouchure, normal air, and sing.
Yes, I'm singing the wrong thing. It was one of the pieces was the Carmen Fantasy.
Oh, sure.
So, but you know what? Because when you're singing, you're changing the oral cavity.
Mm-hmm.
And, I sing really low. I can sing down to a low D, but but a falsetto. And so if you're singing that falsetto and you're playing it, it's not beautiful. Nobody is. I always tell my students, I don't know why anybody hasn't taken voice lessons off of me, but we all know why. But so yes, and you can see that it's changing, and you can see that the end of the phrases, they need to go up. In general, whenever you're ending a phrase, the air needs to go higher to this yellow fin. You hear kids all the time going flat at the end of phrases. But what she was doing mainly, was getting the oral cavity correct for where she was, and then building endurance. Mm-hmm. It was a really difficult, program. And it was only 20 minutes, but it was a very difficult program.
I look forward to trying that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, one question that's come up a few times. They talked about how great the bird call thing, it was really cute. Asking for other online group classes. Very interested in something that...
There's some things in book 2 also. There's some group, there's another piece in the Flute Sioux book 1 that is similar, and it has a background, and it's a tonguing one where It's a group thing that everybody can play. It's a lot of fun. And then there's some pieces also. There's Alien Invasion that works really well with a full group. And book 2, and the teacher's manual shows, I mean, it's a composition project, but in the teacher's manual, it shows a possible composition that you can do with everybody.
Is that which teacher manual are you referencing?
That is teacher manual 2.
So are there other things that are available right now that would be resources for online group classes?
Yeah.
And when is the zoo book going to be out?
So the zoo book should be here 3.5 weeks. About 3.5 weeks. You can pre-order it with Carolyn. But the book 2, I think the kids, and you could space that out, the alien invasion thing, so they would love it.
Okay, I think we are just out of time, so I just wanted to thank Kathy so much. If you have any other questions, please go ahead and just type them in the group. We will do a follow-up email from this. It'll be coming from Carol. So for all those that are confused, I'm Carolyn, but there is a Carol Overturf who works here, you all have been communicating with. So major credit for her for putting all of this together. So I wanted to
Hi, everybody.
So there
I'm
really
Carol.
is a Carol.
And a Carolyn,
And
not to be confusing.
yes, and I also want to just thank, I want to thank Carol, both the Carols, for their generous, support of doing this and providing for it and also organizing it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you everybody for taking your time off today. I just wanted to let you know that, sorry, my whole computer screen just went completely, are we still on? We are still on.
You're still talking.
So you can still hear me. Okay. So we are running some specials on the Numo Pro for everybody, and for groups, kids can order them directly. So we have, for band directors out there, we have an exclusive bulk discount, not just band directors, but band directors, private teachers, bulk discounts on Numo Pros and the Blocki method books. So there will be links coming out that'll give 20% off of 15 or more of the Numo Pros. You can do them just the machines. You can do the machines with the books. There's all different selections. There's a link for that. It all comes with free shipping. So we're going to pay for the shipping for those, for the 48 contiguous states. So for those of you in France and stuff like that, just contact me and we will figure out how to get the least expensive shipping overseas as well. We also have a couple different options for students. We have a small student package, which includes the Numo Pro itself, the student book, so that they'll each have their own book. It'll come with a couple of the training straws, and it'll come up with a couple of the popcorn peanuts, the little pink peanuts that she had. I can't promise they'll be pink, but there'll be a few of them in there. I'm not supplying little pieces of paper because that'll be a great treat for them to go pick out what color papers they want to do. But I will have the straws and the peanuts in there as well. For the larger package, it'll be that same thing, but we'll also include the Flute tutor. So there'll be links for all of these. They'll be available on our website at discounted rates for this class for a limited time. So you can get your students to get completely equipped. We do recommend putting these items on your student list of necessary items. Like when you say, okay, you need your flute, you need your cleaning cloth, you need a music stand, you need your Numo Pro, you need your flute tutor. It just becomes part of the standard kit and it makes it a lot easier for teaching. The DVD that comes with it, which we didn't touch on, but the DVD that doesn't come with it, you can get it with or without the DVD. Most of you all already know that. Does teach how to be able to really, it gets way more in depth on just teaching the Numo Pro directly, and you can incorporate it directly online. So it's really fabulous to be able to share all of that with the DVD. The DVD does have, all the fans are yellow because it's the older generation. The newest generation is multicolored fans, so it's easier to differentiate when you're talking to the kids over Zoom. So that'll be great with them because it's all color coded now. So just wanted to touch base. We do have a bunch of social media outlets. If you want to get more information like these classes, please go to our YouTube channel. This will be up very soon on YouTube. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also our Facebook page, our Instagram, our Snapchat, all of our Twitter, all of the various stuff, so that we can give you more information that we have coming available. We like to be able to offer these free classes to you all. And if there are things that you would like, please send us an email or message us through any of our social media, because Carol will be checking all of that. And we will like to provide more classes. If there's something that you want to learn from Kathy, also please just reach out to us or reach to her through her YouTube channel, and we will gladly touch base with you. We want to make this flute community fabulous and help all these kiddos just really be amazing, amazing flute players. So thank you again, Kathy, for everything and supplying this class for us. It's really been very helpful. If anybody walked away with at least 5 tips, that's the goal. So please reach out. Thanks so much again.